curiosity is a relationship hack. And if I had realized that, so I'll tell you a story. I used to work on the trading desk at JP Morgan and, trading distressed bank debt. And there was this guy, Jimmy Lee, who was larger than life. He was like the end all be all at Chase, like a master deal maker, et cetera. So my group reported to somebody who reported to somebody who reported to him. And when Chase and Chemical first merged, there was a meeting for everybody, vice president and up, to get us on the team. And Jimmy Lee gave us a pep talk and, all that kind of stuff. And I think, if I remember correctly, I was the only Black person in the room. Might have been the only Black woman, but I think I was the only Black person in the room. But as a result, Jimmy Lee knew my name. He knew who I was. So I would get on the elevator, or he would get on there. He'd be like, Shelly, hi. And then he had a thing about FaceTime. So he liked people to be in their seats at their desks like as late as possible. So I would be on the trading floor. The salespeople were gone. I was like a, research person, figuring out what we should buy and that kind of stuff. I did some trading, but I also made investments in distressed bank debt. And he would walk around at 7:00 to see who was still there. You know what I mean? That was important to him. And he'd be like, hey, Shelly, how are you? And I'd be like, hey, and I'd go back to work. And I never knew, it never dawned on me that if I had just engaged him with curiosity, hey, I heard the bank is working on a deal for Procter & Gamble, I don't know, somebody, Jimmy Lee would have talked to me for an hour because that was his thing. And I would have built that relationship. I would still be at JP Morgan now. It was Chase and Chemical then, and then they bought JP Morgan and changed the name. But I'd probably still be there now with mentorship or, a relationship with Jimmy Lee. But one of the things I learned from some of the women that I have interviewed is that I call it, they didn't label it this way, but after talking to a number of them, curiosity is a relationship hack. It's really not about you. It's being curious about the other person.